Hi everyone, so I'm back signed in with Skippy's Whisker Paws. The last video I was making my way back from, I think I was over in Chippendales and having to do Donald's, coming back from Donald's Dock, and then I was going to have to go to Loopy Lane to do my task. So I was somewhere here and I was going to have to get back through Donald's Dock to get back to Toontown Central because I was over in Loopy Lane, or I was in Punchline Place, and then I had to get back to Loopy Lane to complete a task. So we're going to go ahead and go over there. We're going to click on their little book, and we have to go to visit Lucy's Tires at Crack Up Auto Repair in Loopy Lane. So we're going to go do that little task right quick. All right, so once you get down to the street, whatever street you need, we are going to be looking for, we can look for these little blue. It's going to tell you, like, for example, if you were looking for seltzers, bottles and cans, which will be straight ahead. If you were looking for that particular building, then you can see it in blue. If it's in gray, that means you don't have access to it. That means you can go fight the building if there's a building to fight. But there's a couple different options on that. So also, if you want to know where your task is located, you can click right above this book and there'll be a little map that pops up. You can click Street View. And so we are currently right here. We got to make our way all the way down. And then if you see this little red, or it says like number 1, that is the building we need to go to. Now, if it's gray, that means that building's been taken over. So that means you either have to go fight the building or you just change districts, and hopefully the next district that you pick has this place where you need. So we're going to go find this building, and you can do a couple different ways. You can run with this, which I don't really want to. I'm just going to close this little map, and I'm going to be looking for Lucy's Tires. Well, actually, we're looking for Crack Up Auto Repair. So if you look for something that's in the blue, whatever you're looking for, that's what you're going to be finding. Okay, so we're going to try to run through here, and we're going to be looking for, that's the quickest way to find it. Okay, so if you see here, it says, where's that? Somewhere over here on the left. Crack Up Auto Repair. Crack Up Auto Repair. So we're going to run into this building. And we're going to go visit Lucy. You can read this if you want. It just says, hi there, what can I do for you? A tire pump, you say, huh? I'll tell you what, clear out the street of some of those high-level cogs, and I'll let you have the pump. So if you don't understand what that person's needing, then you click your book, and it's going to tell you that you need to get 6 level 3 plus cogs in Toontown Central, and you have to defeat 6 cogs to be able to get the medium gag pouch. So what we have to do to be able to defeat any cogs, we have to open up our book. We have to see if we have any gags. We've only got 6. And so the specific task says Toontown Central. It does not say a specific street. If it says a specific street, if it says like Loopy Lane, then you have to get your cogs in Loopy Lane to be able to get credit. If it just says Toontown Central, that means you can go to Punchline Place, you can go to Silly Street, you can go to Loopy Lane, whatever it is. So some tasks are going to be specific on where you have to find your, or where you have to get your cogs at. If it just says Toontown Central, any street you're on, it doesn't matter. You can go fight the cogs. You can fight them in buildings. You can fight them on the streets. Any kind of battle that you can find. It does not, this particular one does not specifically say what street, and it does not say it has to be in a building. It doesn't say it has to be in any specific location. So once we defeat these 6 cogs, does that mean that we're automatically going to get rewarded with the medium gag pouch? No. Unfortunately, sometimes it's as easy as that. You just go to fight these, go defeat these 6 level 3 cogs, and it's as easy peasy that you will get your pouch. But you have to defeat the cogs, and you have to go back to wherever it says that you have to go to turn it in, and then they'll give you the reward for the medium gag pouch. But guess what? In this game, they may make you do 2 or 3 things before. So sometimes this game is very tedious in the process. That means that the higher you go in this game, that means the more you are experienced in this game, the tasks get a little more tedious. That means that in order for you to get whatever the reward is, that means you may have to do 12 different tasks in order for it to do. You may have to go fishing, you may have to go run to this street, you may have to go to this playground, and it just becomes a little tedious in that process, but it makes you, kind of, do certain things to be able to get that reward. And let me just kind of show you, for example, I'm going to sign out of this particular account, and I'm going to sign back into my main account. Alright, so I just signed in back into my main account, and I'm going to show you my task. So for example, I've got 4 tasks going on. So in order for me to be able to get 550 Sellbot skill points, I have to go in there and defeat 75 level 10, anything greater than at least a 10 or greater Sellbots anywhere. So I'm a little bit on my way there. On here, I have to get 300 cogs anywhere, and I've got 128 out of 300 to get 600 Sellbot skill points. And then I've got 175 level 10 cogs anywhere to get 550 Sellbot skill points. And then here I've got at least 210 level 8 cogs to get anywhere to get 350 skill points. And the reason I've got this particular task is because I'm working on what we call the resistance rank. So the further in the game you go, eventually you'll be able to do what we call the resistance rank, and this is where you have to get a lot of skill points. And that's why on my cog disguise, I was talking about this earlier in another video, where I'm having to rank up, and so as I rank up, these numbers are going to get even higher and higher. So that's currently right now what I'm doing. I'm working on this resistance rank. This is what my little book looks like. So if you do not have the option, if you're not working on the resistance training, you will not have this icon. Only those that are working on the resistance rank, that's going to be a higher level skilled toon that's working on those. So when you actually are starting off, you're going to be starting off at like no rank all the way up to like a 14th rank, and you have to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 tasks here. But it's not just one task and you're given credit for. You have to work like, it's talking about multiple tasks to be able to get this one little stamp. And we're talking about 20 stamps here that I have to get, and that was over I don't know how many tasks to complete this particular what we call our training badge to complete it. And then the same thing when you have to do the Explorer set. It's not just 10 tasks, it's task within a task within a task to be able to get even like one little stamp. And it's throwing you all over the place. Like you may have to go to, you may have to go do something in Minnie's Maryland, and then take something back to somewhere else, and then you go do something else, and you take it back to something else, and then you go do something else, and then eventually you might get your stamp. So that's what makes this game very tedious. It's not a hard game. It's just like things over and over and over. Eventually you'll be able to, do whatever the task is. So currently I'm working on completing I've got all the stamps I need for this particular task. I'm just doing my rank up skill points. And then eventually I'll be able to get my smasher set and go from there. All right. So I wanted to sign on here and show you the tasks that I'm working on. So for example, if you can see here, this particular toon is a high level 113 laugh points. So I've been playing the game for a while. Like for example, I've talked about my cog disguise. I'm not maxed out, but I've got all my suits, so I can play any of the big bosses. I just got to work my way up between them. But if you look at my cog gallery, I've got everything maxed out. I have fought probably especially any of these smaller, I've probably fought thousands of code callers, thousands of name droppers and whatnot. So as the game progresses, you're going to be fighting more than just 45 short change or 45 double talkers or 35, whatever it is. So over the course of your game experience, you're going to be fighting more than what's listed here. But this just shows you that, you know, you have gotten the experience to fighting, to defeating these cogs. Okay. So let's talk about this task again. So if you notice here in my particular task here, I can fight any size cog, the particular size cogs anywhere. So that means I could go into buildings, I could defeat these in boss bot battles, buildings, streets, anything like that. But if you notice, these two particular tasks are have to be at least level 10 cogs or higher, and this particular task is sellbots in general. So the best option, because this is a specific type of cog I have to get, it would be better that I go to places where there are high level sellbots at level 10s, and I would go to somewhere like a not necessarily a factory, but I would probably go fight the VP. Or I could go to what they call a field office. Now, a field office is somewhere that you do not want to go unless you are experienced and you have, you actually are going to be using what we call your, it's not just going in there to train. This is where you're going to be using all the skills that you have learned in the game by prioritizing what options you have, because they do limit you on the gags that they give you at any given point in that field office. So if you have been to a field office before, that's great. If you haven't, then that's something you're going to be looking forward to later in the game if you're just barely starting off. So you do not want to go into a field office being unexperienced, because there's going to be some things you're going to be needing to know. You always want to work up from a level 1 building a field office to a level 2 to a level 3, and there's going to be these tasks within this toon resistance that you're going to have to go defeat a level 3 field office. So it will not let you, I do not believe it's going to let you go into a level 3 unless you fought a level 1 and level 2 before. So currently that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this resistance training, and that's where all these skill points are coming in at. I have to do all these particular tasks to get skill points to be able to rank up. And once I rank up, I don't know what's after 1290, if there's more points after 1290. So just because I get the stamps, I'm going to have to work on the skill points now. So that means I'm going to have to fight a bunch of cogs, you know, more than just probably this. So once I get one of these tasks complete, then I turn it in. But so what I would do, particularly in this option here, is because I have to get level 10 sellbots, I would go find places that have high level sellbots, and once I pick an option for sellbots, it's going to give me also credit for this one as well. So if I'm completing this one and getting level 10s, it's also going to give me credit for this one as well. And then plus, if I do level 10s, guess what? It's going to give me credit for, so if I go fight, 75 sellbots, I'm going to get credit here, and I'm also going to get credit here, and I'm also going to get credit here. So if I fought 75 sellbots here, the reason this number hasn't changed because I think I got this one after I had already got these. And so that means I picked this one after I had already started this one. So that means if I go start fighting sellbots level 10, and I'm going to get credit on this one because these are cogs anywhere. Same thing here. These are just any size cog, and the same thing here. So once I start fighting some more of these sellbots, then I'm going to start getting credit for this, because as long as I meet the level 10, I'll get credit for the level 8. So I hope this video helps. I'm just trying to give some more information for those that are playing the game. And I'm not really playing the game. I'm just kind of showing you, but I just want to kind of show you around on the different toon options. What's the difference between, a higher level toon versus an inexperienced toon.